Hi Virgo, welcome to your reading for the month of July 2015. I'm Mary Intuitive. I'm an intuitive reader and an animal pet communicator. So Virgo, before I get on to your reading, these two cards popped out. So to pass on the messages of these cards for you. Also, just to let you know, this reading is for the Virgo sun signs, rising signs and moon signs. So Virgo, some of the messages I'm getting from these cards that popped out for you are, I'm hearing the words warding things off, or warding a person or people off. So there may have been this sense of, in an area of your life, of having to ward things off or ward people off, and it may have at times caused you some worries or some stress, or a bit of overwhelm. But the message coming through is that there feels to be new horizons coming towards you. And with this wonderful new horizons in various areas of your life, the sense of having to ward things off starting to diminish for you. Along with this new horizons, there's also a sense of new perspectives. So, there may be some new horizons in regards to career for some of you Virgos, and yet at the same time, it's as if these new horizons come with a new perspective. So it can be sort of like you get a new perspective on things career-wise, and that kind of changes everything career-wise for you too, and brings along with it new horizons. The other message as well is that, I'm really drawn to the dove here, and along with new horizons, it feels like there's a sense of peace coming, having that kind of feeling where you're feeling at peace, Virgo, perhaps with things that may have burdened you before. And it's not to say that these burdens disappear, but it just feels like, again, like a new perspective, new horizons, and with that comes a sense of peace. So, really nice cards, Virgo. Okay, so let's get on to your Celtic cross, and excuse my voice, I've been talking a lot. The first card we have represents your subconscious, Virgo. It is the Knight of Swords. It feels like in the subconscious there's been some things to do with getting to a place of stability in a particular area of your life, and working on that, and having experiences that have perhaps highlighted where you may want or feel or thinking of having stability, and in a particular area. So perhaps it's in career, or with your family, or in a home situation, things like that. It's on your mind about bringing some kind of stability. Now, the other thing too is that this is sometimes the card of communication. It's also the sign, or related to the air signs as well, which is things Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. So maybe there's been some swift communication with someone of an air sign, and it may have required you to get to a place of stability, or to bring have a kind of grounded communication with an air sign as well, and just dealing with any kind of swift information, or how you're going to deal with swift information as well, because this is the subconscious card. The next card is the Justice card, and it represents the past for you, Virgo, or an aspect of your past. And right away I'm hearing legalities and values. So in the past you may have been dealing with something to do with legal things, right? Perhaps the justice system, or lawyers, or any kind of professional person that has some kind of legalities to it. And along with that, there's also the sense of discovering or figuring out your values along the way as well. That's something that may have been based on legalities, or completely a different thing to the legality. So for some of you, it may be both. Dealing with legalities and also dealing with your values and knowing what your values are, or discovering them, I'm hearing. And for others, it may not have been a legality thing, but you may have been put in positions where in one way or another it got you to think about and discover what your values are. Okay, the next card is your present card, and it is the Three of Pentacles. And I'm hearing right away working, studious, stupendously, and again the legalities I'm hearing as well. So first off the bat, Virgo, presently it's a really great month to work on things or create things that you've been wanting to do or get done. I just keep hearing stupendously. It's as if things can, some of the outcomes can be quite stupendous for you, and it feels very positive. So, if you're working on things, continue working on them, and perhaps be aware that some stupendous things may happen for you, some stupendous outcomes from studious work, right? So, for instance, you may get a taste of the limelight in something. Perhaps you worked on something and the boss gives you great feedback about it, and you're in the limelight, that sort of thing. I just keep hearing the word stupendous in a positive light for you, including with legalities for some of you as well. Working studiously with that as well, and there may be some stupendous outcomes that show up for you too, as well. Just seeing if there's anything else. If you've had any legalities in the past and it may have overwhelmed you a bit, I feel that some stupendous things may come about this month, and you'll be able to get down to business, it seems. Okay, let's move on to the next card, which is the Page of Swords. This is showing up as your aim for the month, Virgos. So interesting, because I'm hearing recluse, and I'm just asking now, is the aim of the month to be a recluse, or to ensure not to be a recluse? And I'm hearing it's to be a recluse, or to take on some of the traits of being a recluse, right? So I'm hearing keep to yourself at times, Virgos, or know when to keep to yourself. Know when to because I'm hearing that word stupendous again. So if you get some limelight this month, Virgos, sometimes it's good to kind of keep to yourself. It's or know when to keep to yourself. And if there are dramas, knowing to not get involved, and keeping to yourself in that way as well. And I feel that it'll ensure that your emotions don't become overwhelmed, and things like that. So yeah, the aim of the month is to know when to draw back, and that it's okay to draw back, and that you don't always need to be involved if there are dramas going on. And when positive things happen as well, there's also that message of knowing when to draw back as well. Okay. Okay, now the next card for you, Virgos, is the Four of Cups. I'm hearing that it's in the reverse, but I'm going to keep it in the upright so I can see the images properly. It's coming up as the block or the challenge card, and I'm hearing decisions. And again, I'm being drawn to the Page of Swords, which is the aim of the month, about knowing when to draw back, knowing when to keep to yourself. That's the aim of this month, right? And drawing back when you're in the limelight, so to speak, as well as if there's other people's dramas or anything like that. And you know, this drawing back, this being a recluse kind of theme that's coming up for your aim of the month, you know, it doesn't always have to be physically. It doesn't always have to be about while you stay home and you don't go out and talk to people. It could be just one situation, and it may not be physical. It could be that you just draw back your energy, you draw back your emotions from the situation, meaning that you step away and that sort of thing, right? Because if we think back to your cards up here, which is that, you know, there's the sense of moving on, moving forward, you know, with it may come a little bit of emotional overwhelm because perhaps you're moving into a new environment, perhaps you come into a bit of the limelight, and that can at times be a little bit emotionally overwhelming. So the aim again is to know when to draw back and when to kind of take on recluse traits. With this card here, you know, it's pointing back to this Page of Swords, the aim of the month. So I feel that with any decisions, perhaps with legalities, perhaps in your career, perhaps links to the limelight, you may have decisions to make. And it's good to get other people's information, but again, there's that message of being a recluse, of drawing yourself back, perhaps emotionally or mentally, so that you can make, so that you're not influenced when it comes to making decisions. So there's a strong sense of making decisions on your own, right, or not having too much influence or emotional impact from others when you make these decisions. And perhaps, again, these decisions may have to do with legalities, moving on, or career, or relationships like family and so on. Okay, Virgos, the next card is the Page of Cups, and I'm hearing in the reversed, and this is for the near future, the next 3 months. So, let me just turn this card around. You know, it's coming up as a feel-good card for you, Virgos, the message. You know, when I look at this page in the reverse, it's like he's smiling, right? Upright. It's like he's a little bit more serious. So, you know, there's definitely a feeling of moving forward or moving on, okay? And again, there may be a little bit of emotional overwhelm feeling that may come with this moving on or moving forward. But I'm hearing it's very temporary. Perhaps you're moving careers and moving into a new environment, and that might bring some emotional overwhelm. Perhaps you leave behind a colleague or colleagues that you got on well with, and that could bring a little bit of emotional overwhelm. Perhaps you're moving home or moving country or anything like that. Again, it feels very temporary, the emotional overwhelm that you may feel. There's a sense in the next 3 months of feeling, Virgos, more stable, and again, it has links to moving on and moving forward from something, right? So it feels very positive, this moving on, and it brings you a sense of well-being. And the other thing too is that I'm noticing all the orange in this card, and so I feel that within the next 3 months you may be having some experiences that helps to strengthen your sacral chakras, right, which has to do with feeling more secure, feeling more stable in your environment or within yourself, right? So I feel there's some experiences of that, perhaps in regards to moving on, right? When you do that moving on, moving forward, it just helps to strengthen your sacral chakra. And for some of you Virgos, you may also want to do some chakra work. For instance, Doreen Virtue has great meditations on YouTube that has to do with chakras. So you may also want to perhaps listen to one of those meditations, and to also help strengthen, in particular, the sacral chakra, which is all about feeling secure and feeling like you're stable, or there is stability in your world. But either way, the next 3 months, a sense of moving on, and with it, a strengthening of your sacral chakra, or in other words, feeling more stable and having a really nice positive sense of well-being. Okay, so Virgos, the next card we have, been called to pull out 2 cards. We have the Nine of Pentacles and the Ten of Cups, and this is your external influences, the outside environment, people, energy that's having an impact or influencing you. And you know, this Nine of Pentacles feels really wonderful. You know, so the outside influences is that it's having an impact on you where you are, I guess it's linked to your subconscious. There's a sense of wanting to build upon your career, build upon your finances, create stability in your life, in your world, and within you. And you know, that's what's having an impact on you. The as well as communications, right? So some of the influences that have impacted you communication-wise, it's helped you to become more grounded in your communicating with others, or getting your message across to people, and strengthening your communications as well. So perhaps you may be moving into a communication sector career-wise, or something like that as well. So improvement communication-wise in various ways. The other message too with this card is that because this is what is impacting you and having an influence on you, the advice is to do that. Basically, it is to create this sense of well-being, this stability around you, to create your garden, basically. You know, whatever the garden is for you. Perhaps it's career, perhaps it's family, a love relationship, perhaps it's creating savings and building your money, something like that, right? And also working on your communication, or continuing to improve your communication, or looking into the communication sector work-wise for you, or improving your communications with work or with other people. So it's a very nice card. Now, the next card, funny enough, is very different, but it goes with the reading so far. This Ten of Cups, you know, I keep hearing 3 is a crowd, so I feel it has links to the aim of the month, which asks you to draw back your energy, and perhaps at times draw back physically too, or mentally, not becoming involved in other people's dramas. And it doesn't even have to be dramas, just not, you know, choosing or being selective of what you become involved with, including with your communications. And perhaps there's a situation where it feels crowded to you, right? And this card is saying that, you know, the other influence that is impacting you is, you know, a crowded type of situation where 3 is a crowd, so to speak. Perhaps this is in career, and or within a relationship or family dynamics or something like that, and you're being advised to remember the aim of the month, which is know when to draw back, know when to keep to yourself, especially with limelight stuff going on for you as well. Know when to keep things to yourself, or just keep to yourself. Okay, the next card for you we have is the 5. It is the Hierophant. And, you know, I'm hearing holy and divine. I think this must be the advice card for you. I'm not hearing what this card is, you know, what it represents. But I'm hearing holy and divine. So, you know, you may have had some timing issues, but it feels that it's been holy and divine. Even with this moving on or moving forward, there's a sense of holy and divine. And when I think about the song that I keep hearing for you, you know, the night shift, and you know, everything's going to be all right, and it's going to be a long night, but everything's going to be all right, and sing your song. Yeah, with anything with moving on and moving forward and energetic shifts, things are becoming lighter for you within the next 3 months. New horizons, new perspectives, any timing issues as well. There's this sense of everything being holy and divine, including coming into your own and discovering and owning your values, that's been holy and divine as well, especially when it, because we learn that through discovery, right? Sometimes through joy and pain. But that's, there's that, I just keep hearing holy and divine. So also, as you're moving on, and you may experience a bit of the emotional overwhelm, I'm hearing trust the process and know that it's temporary, and trust the higher process as well, and perhaps even pray for some of you. But there's still this wonderful sense of lightness, or perhaps you've been praying, right? And wonderful sense of the holy and the divine. And that would make sense too because of your moon card in reverse, which is all about releasing, right? Because it really feels like within the next 3 months, as you move into the next 3 months, there's this releasing of fears for you Virgos, and coming into your own. I'm hearing the next card, the final card, and interesting that it's the last card of your reading. It is the 7 of Wands, and this represents your hopes and fears. So after your reading, and what's come through for you, and this moon card, which is about releasing fears, your hopes and fears card shows up as the last card in your reading. So I guess, you don't really have anything to fear, right? And that's like making its point by being at the end of your reading. So, this card, as fears, it sort of shows like trying to stay on top of things, or being worried or afraid of keeping on top of things, and perhaps that you may topple, or things will topple. But because of your release card, the moon, showing up within the 3 months, that there is the releasing of fears, right? Happening for you in a much lighter energy and an energetic shift. So I doubt that you're having these fears as you go into the next 3 months, or if they come up, shifts happen and you release them easily or quickly. The hopes is that you get on top of things and that there is stability, and with your external influences, showing that the outside world or people and energy that are having an impact on you is getting you to this point where you are creating stability, and energetic shifts are happening with that as well, with you creating stability, whether that's with finances, career, or relationships, various family or relationship dynamics, right? So I find that very interesting that this hopes and fears card has come at the very end, and I'm getting that feeling it's because it's like making that point that fears are being released, and so it's not really going to be hindering you. So thank you Virgos. I'll leave that link down below for the song by the Commodores, The Night Shift. Take what resonates with you. And I hope you've enjoyed this reading, and that it helps you in July. If you would like a personal one-on-one reading with me for yourself, where we can take a look at your questions and get guidance for you for your personal questions, or if you would like a reading for your pet, I am available for that as well. You can contact me 2 ways, via my email address, which is maryintuitive@outlook.com, or you can private message me on my Facebook page. I'll leave the links down below. What else? Oh yeah, there's a lot of things I forget to mention that I should mention at the beginning of the videos. So I'd also like to thank people that have ordered readings from me, and I'd also like to thank people for watching, sharing, liking, and commenting as well. It's highly appreciated, and I love being of assistance and working with the guides and with you, the customers. So thank you, and I look forward to reading for you next month in August.